Are we? I think so. Good morning, beloveds. My Ivies have been in the bathroom over the weekend, and now that the highs are going to be in the 60s and 70s, they're back outside until Friday night because it's going to drop into the 20s on Saturday. So, yay! But it may rain tomorrow, and they can use some sunshine and some water. So, if nothing else, they need to be watered. And yeah, so I'm just like, so I literally just took my Ivies back out. The aloes were out because it didn't get that cold, but the Ivies are drama queens. So, yeah. All right. We are doing a new design for living. So let's do the housekeeping. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. I don't know where. That we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. If you will email that gets you one email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. So if it says click here now, it means it will take you right to the information or the person that can help you get it. And it is a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. And when I say one email a week, I mean that. It's a real person doing it. He doesn't have time for more than that. The only reason you would get more than one is if something unusual happens, which is almost always, because we live on the Gulf Coast, weather related. I.e., it's going to freeze this weekend. It might snow. Do I think it's going to snow? No, but there's a possibility. We don't know how to drive in that. So, all right. So if it snows, we stay home. Okay. So, and I should mention the social media just because, I'm doing this on a social media and we don't monetize the social media, which means because we don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to go like, subscribe, follow the individual pages. If you allow notifications, then that lets you know when either we go live or upload new videos. And then engage with the individual posts by reacting, sharing, and commenting. It bumps us in the algorithms, more people see our stuff, and let's be honest, it's social media. That's the point. So, it's a free and easy way that you can support the center. All right. Now, we are doing a new design for living, and a new design for living is, it was written towards the end of Ernest's career, and it is the process of science of mind. These are action steps. Ernest is famous for his theory, and in here, he's actually saying, no, here's how you do this. So, we are currently in chapter 5. Changes are necessary, which they are. And we are going to tackle 2 fairly short articles. So let's get on with it. The first one is, life is what you make it. The 2 fundamental propositions that we must remember are that we are creative centers in mind, and that our thought is creative through the action of a power greater than we are. So we are creative centers in mind, and that our thought is creative through the action of a power greater than we are. If these 2 propositions are true, then it follows that everything in our personal experience depends upon our mental and emotional reactions to life and our deep realization of the intimate relationship we have with the infinite. Okay? And it is those reactions are very important. And I would argue that one of the things that's really important is we can train our reactions, but if we can respond rather than reacting, we give ourselves that moment to think and respond, we'll actually have a better outcome. But the more we practice, when we do react, we're more likely to react the way we would prefer instead of the way we were trained. In this way, we see that life is what we make it, and there are tremendous possibilities implied. But at the same time, this seems to place a great responsibility on our shoulders that we do not always desire to recognize or accept, regardless of the potentials involved. For the most part, we seem to want to shun responsibility. We want to do things the easy way. We would like to just coast along and have everything taken care of for us. However, we have outgrown our crib and we have spread our wings and are on our own, both in our own physical lives and in the life of humanity on earth. We are maturing, and in doing so, we cannot evade nor ignore the nature of things the way they are. We do think our thought is creative, and as a result, our life is what we make it. It is a case of sink or swim. There is something within us that does not want us to sink. So we learn to swim, although our first efforts may appear feeble. I think that line right there is really important. There is something within us that does not want us to sink. Okay? Where previously we may have frantically splashed around, getting nowhere, barely keeping our heads above water, we now know that swim we can and swim we will, carrying ourselves along the stream of life with direction and confidence. Okay, so the next article is called The Endless Challenge. We do not need to be the least bit fearful of the fact that life is what we make it. For this is the great challenge, the endless opportunity, and our God-given privilege. Okay? So he went ahead and called it all three things. It is a challenge. It is a great challenge. It is an endless opportunity for us to do whatever, literally. And it is a God-given privilege. Like, there are a whole lot of species on the planet that are mostly run on instinct and automatic. We have the opportunity to choose. All we have to do is to learn how to go about making our life better. The initiative The initiative rests with us. We have to do something about it. If we don't, we just continue to coast along in the same old hectic muddle, bemoaning our lot. And we have to do it. Nobody can do it. Nobody else can do it for us. We do our own thinking and we do our own living, and the two cannot be separated. There is no way that it can be done by proxy, as much as we might at times wish it were possible. It can be done by proxy, but then you don't get to complain about the results. So if you allow somebody else to make all of your decisions for you and you don't like the way it's turning out, that's on you. So, he says it can't be done by proxy. The life you want to lead, you have to do that. If you run around letting other people make your decisions, you're not living your life. You're living the life that they are choosing for you. You're not even living their life. You're living the life they're choosing for you. So this is what he's talking about. Through the process of our thinking, we are either repelling or attracting the life we want to live. It is not only the individual thought that does this to us, important as it is, but the total content of our thought. And that's very, very important, because you don't want to get caught up on the individual negative thought, because we all have them. We all have those little negative thoughts that pop up, from a variety of places. What we want to do is make sure that it only happens once in a while. If you start to see more and more of those, then you want to go and kind of maybe talk to a therapist or something and figure out where that's coming from. The idle wish or the passing desire that life should be better will not make it better. When our thought during the day is otherwise taken up with intense concentration on and absorption with the utterly deplorable conditions and circumstances in which we may find ourselves. A situation which we eventually discover we have assiduously created for ourselves. Making our life what it is or what we desire it to be rests in the nature of all our thought, conscious as well as subconscious. So occasionally we got to get in that closet and look and see what we've got hidden in there. It is for this reason that if we are to have a better life, there has to be consistency, definiteness, and continuous thinking along a certain line and in a specific direction. Not once a day, but all day. So yes, we set aside prayer time and do, that maybe once a day or, sometimes more than once a day. But you got to look at all the other thoughts that are happening too, not just what's happening in your prayer time. So if you go into the prayer time and do, think all these amazing thoughts, but then when you're out, doing your daily stuff, if all of your thoughts are negative, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So you gotta change those. Otherwise, you will discover that your thinking has wavered and changed so much, you have negated your own thinking so often that in the total, at the end of the day, the good has been entirely canceled out and you want nothing to do with what you have left. But you can start right now to make a life that is new and more to your liking. What you are going to do to add up today will probably have a few more plus signs and a few less minus signs than yesterday. And tomorrow will be even better than today. And as the plus signs become more numerous in your thinking, you will never have to bother to count them, for they will be appearing all about you as the plus experiences the good things in the new life you are making for yourself. And that is part of the amazing things about, positive thinking and positive actions. And that's one of the things that Jesse said on Sunday is that, positive thinking and positive action are both really important, but you need them both. You can think positive thoughts all the day, but if you don't take positive action, nothing's going to happen. And if you do take positive action, but you continue to have negative thoughts, you're canceling it out. So you need both positive thoughts and positive actions. And not to beat yourself up when you have the occasional negative thoughts. So what I would say is celebrate your wins. Don't worry about your losses. Don't worry about them too much. Learn from them. But celebrate your wins. And, the more positive thoughts that you have, the more positive things that you are going to see in your environment. It's called confirmation bias. If you go looking for the negative, you're going to find it. If you go looking for the positive, you're going to find it. That's what he's talking about. Okay, so we have one last section, so we're going to finish this chapter up tomorrow. And the title of the last section is Make Some Changes. So we will finish up chapter 5 tomorrow. So here's where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, get ready for the weather coming day, but enjoy the sunshine while we've got it day, bundle up in the, dress in layers today, drink plenty of water day, cuddle your fur babies day, tell somebody you love them day, do what you gotta do day, do something just for yourself day, and make sure that you make some time to sit down today, look for the good day, or as Emma likes to say, look for the good and praise it day, cause you want to increase it, that's the way you do it. Or Jesse was talking about just bless everything day, just bless it all. Day, apparently I'm not a words day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time at your own pace. My favorite part of the sentence. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Okay? So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. And you may hear Sugar in the background. She is carrying around her baby, which is almost as big as her. I don't know what she wants. So take care of yourself. Oh, wait, hang on. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And